Hola, ¿cómo están ustedes? Me llamo Jeffrey, and this is the first lesson for Spanish language learning. We're gonna go through as Duolingo progresses, and there's a lot of different lessons in Duolingo. We're just gonna break each one apart one by one, starting with the intro. This is the very first lesson. This is in Unit 1, and let's just start. Here we have niña and niño. The tilde makes a ña sound. So here we have niña, niño. And this just means girl and boy. Niña, which ends in an A, means girl. Niño, which ends in an O, means boy. The letter A typically means a female, a feminine word. The letter O typically means a masculine word. In Spanish, there are two different genders, masculine and feminine, and each word is ascribed one of these genders. This is obvious: niña, girl; niña, niño, boy. Some words are going to be a little less obvious, words that don't end in A or O, and sometimes there are words that end in A that's actually masculine. There are some words that end in O which are actually feminine, and those are not very common, but they do exist. Here we have leche, which means milk. Does not end in A or O, but ends in the letter E. So you can't tell right off the bat if it's masculine or feminine. Also the word pan, which means bread, again, does not end in A or O, so you can't really tell just by looking at it. You need to know, and you need to memorize the gender. It's very important that we know the gender of each word because it's going to affect what kind of words that we use with it. So for example, la niña is how you say the girl. El niño is how you say the boy. So unlike in English, where you just use the or the with every time, depending on the gender, you'll use la or el to say the. La niña, el niño. La niña, the girl. El niño, the boy. Mujer means woman. It is a feminine word. La mujer. La mujer means the woman. La mujer, the woman. Hombre means man. Remember, H is silent. Hombre. El hombre means the man. It's a masculine word, hombre, for man. La mujer, the woman. El hombre, the man. So now we need to know the gender of leche and pan, so we can figure out if we're going to use la or el to say the milk and the bread. Leche is actually a feminine word. So we say la leche, the milk. Pan, which means bread, is masculine. El pan, the bread. La leche, the milk. El pan, the bread. You might want to say, el hombre eats el pan. El hombre, the man, eats el pan, the bread. We would actually say come. We'll get to this in a bit. So you say, el hombre come el pan. The man eats the bread. You might want to say, the man drinks the milk. El hombre bebe la leche. That's how you say the man drinks the milk. El hombre bebe la leche. La mujer bebe la leche. La mujer come el pan. La niña bebe la leche. La niña come el pan. El niño bebe la leche. El niño come el pan. La niña, the girl. La mujer, the woman. El niño, the boy. El hombre, the man. La leche, the milk. El pan, the bread. Sometimes instead of saying the girl, you want to say a girl, a boy, a woman, a man, a milk, a bread. And just like how, so unlike English where you just use a, we're going to use different words depending on the gender. Una niña is how you say a girl. Una niña, a girl. If it's masculine, you use un niño. Una niña, a girl. Un niño, a boy. Una mujer, a woman. Un hombre, a man. Un hombre, remember H is silent. You just slide those two words together. Un hombre, un hombre. Una mujer, a woman. Un hombre, a man. Very rarely would you say a milk, if that's how you would say. Una leche. Un pan, again, rare but still technically correct. Una leche, a milk. Un pan, a bread. Una niña, a girl. Una mujer, a woman. Un niño, a boy. Un hombre, a man. Now I'm going to throw a wrench in things. Here's an example of a word that ends with the letter A that is not feminine. And it's a very common word. Agua. 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 Gua. Agua. Agua is actually masculine. So you would say el agua, the water. Un agua, a water. Una mujer bebe el agua. A woman drinks the water. Una mujer, a woman, bebe, drinks, el agua, the water. Una mujer bebe un agua. Un hombre bebe el agua. The man drinks the water. Or un hombre bebe un agua. The man drinks a water. Agua ends in the letter A, but you must remember that it's actually masculine. So this is going to create some difficulty in that first lesson for you. El agua, the water. Un agua, the water. And here's one more word that ends. This ends in the letter A, but it actually is feminine. Manzana, manzana, and that means apple. La, since it's feminine, la manzana, the apple, that's how you say the apple, la manzana. Un hombre come la manzana, the man eats the apple. Una mujer come la manzana, the woman drinks the apple. If you want to say an apple, you say una manzana, una manzana. Una niña come una manzana. A girl drinks an apple, or a girl eats an apple. Un niño come una manzana. Un niño come una manzana. A boy eats an apple. Una manzana. Un niña come la manzana. A boy eats the apple. Un niño come la manzana. La manzana. We can talk here a little bit about syllable stress. Spanish has very good rules that are very regular about where to apply the stress in the word. So instead, you don't just say manzana, manzana, you say manzana. The stress goes on za, manzana. That's the second to last syllable. Normally, that's the normal case. We call it the normal case, manzana. Second to last syllable gets the stress. Hombre, hombre. Here you have two syllables. Hombre. Second to last syllable. Hombre gets a stress. It's not hombre, it's hombre. Niña, niño. Leche, agua, manzana. Notice I didn't say this one because this ends in the letter R. And words that end in the letter R get the stress normally on the last syllable. Mujer, una mujer, a woman. Una mujer. Now if I wanted to keep that rule from taking effect, then I would write in a little stress marker here for mujer. But that's not the case. We pronounce this mujer as it ends in the letter R. Una niña, una mujer, un niño, un hombre, una leche, un pan, agua, el agua, un agua, la manzana, una manzana. we have some new words that might be familiar to you already. Yo. Yo. Yo means I. Yo. Tú. Tú. This is a little stress mark. Tú. An accent. This means you. Tú means you. And we saw EL earlier, but what we saw was this L. El Niño. This is different. You'll notice that this has an accent mark. When the E has an accent mark over it, this means he. This means the boy, el niño. E with an accent mark over it means he. Ella means she. Yo, I, tú, you. Él, he, ella, she. Earlier we talked about bebo or bebe and come. So these are verbs. So we're going to talk about how we're going to use the verbs in the sentence depending on which of these we're using. And we're going to start with the verb to be, which is ser. Ser just means to be. Ser. And depending on which of these is doing the being, we're going to use a different form of ser. Ser will become different words. Yo soy. I am. Yo soy. I am. Tú eres. You are. Tú eres. You are. Él es, or you would say ella es. He is, she is. Él es, ella es. So let's look at some examples. Él es un niño. Él es un niño. You wouldn't say él soy un niño. Soy is just used with yo. You say él es un niño. Ella es una niña. Ella es una niña. Él es un niño. And here we have un niño because it's a boy. Una niña because it's a girl. Es because we're using él or ella. He is a boy. Él es un niño. Él es un niño. He is a boy. She is a girl. Ella es una niña. Ella es una niña. Remember, double L's are pronounced like ya. Ella es una niña. She is a girl. Él es un hombre. Él es un hombre. Ella es una mujer. He is a man. Él es un hombre. He is a man. Ella es una mujer. She is a woman. Ella es una mujer. Yo soy un hombre. I am a man. Yo soy, I am. Yo, I, soy, am. Yo soy un hombre. I am a man. Tú eres una mujer. Tú eres una mujer. You are a woman. Tú eres una mujer. You are. Tú eres. You must use eres with tú. Tú eres. You are a woman. Yo soy un hombre. I am a man. Tú eres una mujer. Él es un niño. Ella es una niña. Okay. Now let's talk about beber. This means to drink. You notice that when you say to be, ser, to drink, beber, they end in the letter R. To eat, comer. This is what's called the infinitive. Infinitive is to do something, to be, ser, to eat, comer, to drink, beber. Infinitives in Spanish end in the letter R. This is typically what you use as the most basic form of the verb, is the infinitive. And then what we're going to do is what we call conjugating, and that's what we did with the word ser. We conjugated to find out which version goes with who is doing the action, the pronouns. Yo, I, tú, you, él, he, ella, she. So let's conjugate, let's find out the versions of beber. Yo bebo. I drink. Yo bebo. I drink. Tú bebes. You drink. Tú bebes. Él, ella bebe. Bebe. Él bebe, he drinks. Ella bebe, she drinks. Comer. Yo como. I eat. Yo como. Tú comes. You eat. Tú comes. You eat. Ella come. She eats. Ella come. She eats. Él come. He eats. You'll notice a pattern here. Yo, versions end in O. Yo bebo, I drink. Yo como, I eat. You, tú, ends in S. Tú bebes, you drink. Tú comes, you eat. And then él and ella end in the letter E. Él bebe, él come, ella bebe, ella come, ends in the letter E. So you'll notice that they have the same ending depending on yo, tú, él, or ella. So if you want to say, he eats an apple, él come una manzana. Manzana is feminine. So it's una manzana, an apple. He, él goes with come. Él come una manzana. If you wanted to say the woman eats an apple, the woman la mujer eats an apple, come So you notice the second part of the sentence is the same, come una manzana. It doesn't matter if it's he or she, it just matters that it's either he or she. Él come una manzana, la mujer come una manzana. He eats an apple, the woman eats an apple. Él come una manzana, la mujer come una manzana. Let's talk about tú. Tú, you. Tú bebes la leche. You drink the milk. Now this can also be you are drinking the milk. In Spanish, it's kind of implied tú bebes is you drink the milk, you are drinking the milk, you do drink the milk. Same thing with él come, he eats an apple, he is eating an apple, he does eat an apple. We're not going to go too far in depth on that, but just know that tú is, you just use the simple form mostly. Tú bebes la leche, you drink the milk, you're drinking the milk. Yo bebo agua. I drink water. Now what would I put here if I wanted to say I am drinking the water? So I put yo bebo el agua or yo bebo la agua. Now remember, agua is a weird word. It ends in A, like manzana, but it's not feminine like manzana. It's actually masculine. Agua is masculine. So you say el agua. I drink the water. Yo bebo el agua. Yo bebo el agua. I'm drinking the water. Tú bebes la leche. Él come una manzana. See, so this is why it's important to know how to conjugate the verbs, because you're going to use different versions depending on who is doing the action, who's the subject. So here in this sentence, yo is the subject. I am drinking the water. Yo bebo, so therefore I use the I version. That's called the first person. See? Because in this list, we put yo first. It's first person. 2 goes second, that's second person. Él and ella are third person. So here we use yo bebo, that's the first person. Tu bebes, the S, that's the second person, because you are the subject of that sentence. You are doing the drinking, not the milk. You are drinking. Tu bebes. And here, la mujer, which is third person, that's ella. Think of la mujer as ella. She is eating an apple. El hombre come una manzana. Because el hombre is considered he. He is eating a manzana. Because it's not, la mujer is not you, it's not tu, and it's not yo. It's she, it's ella. It's third person. Ella bebe la leche. Ella bebe la leche. Ella come una manzana. Ella, la mujer, bebe el agua. La mujer bebe el agua. See how it's easy to make that mistake. La mujer bebe el agua. La mujer bebe el agua. Yo bebo, tú bebes, ella bebe. Yo como, tú comes, ella come. Tú comes pan. Tú comes pan. That means you eat bread. You are eating bread. Tú comes pan. Tú comes el pan. You are eating the bread. Tú comes el pan. Tú comes pan is just how you say you eat bread. You eat bread. Tú comes pan. Yo soy un hombre. I am a man. Yo soy un hombre. Yo soy, remember, yo soy, first person, tú eres, second person, ella es, third person. That's, yo soy un hombre. Yo soy un hombre, I am a man. Tú eres una mujer, you are a woman. Yo bebo agua, I drink water, I am drinking water. El hombre bebe agua, the man is drinking water. Tú eres una niña, you are a girl. Tú eres un niño, you are a boy. Tú eres una niña, you are a girl. Tú eres un niño, you are a boy. Él come manzanas. So much like in English, how we put an S at the end of words to make them plural. For example, apple is one apple, multiple apples, we add the S, apples. So same thing in Spanish. Manzana, apple. Manzanas, apples. Él come manzanas is how you say he eats apples. Ella come manzanas. She eats apples. She is eating apples. Yo como manzanas. I am eating apples. Yo como manzanas. I am eating apples. All Alright, so I think that that's everything for the introduction. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you learned a lot, and I hope you join me for the next lesson. Thank you.